Welcome to Rein It In. This is the start of season 3, which was sadly delayed due to my incredibly busy January. But we are coming to you now, talking about today favorite quarantine meals, both takeout and made at home.
Yeah, we've all, I'm sure, eaten a lot of food. We've taken some time to try some new things and branch out a little bit during this, but still find an opportunity to shake it up a little bit, and every couple of weeks have a takeout meal, sometimes fancier ones.
We get takeout once a week, I would say, but not fancy food every week.
Right.
And I feel like our top 10s in the past, Matt and I have both written down separate lists, and so we have not looked at each other's lists, so we're going to see where we align and where we do not during the course of this episode.
Yeah, so welcome back to Season 3.
Season 3.
We still have the old exit intro, or exit music that I said we were going to update in Season 2, but...
we'll do it in Season 4, promise.
Maybe, or 7.
Yeah, maybe.
And in the meantime, what do you think about quick intro?
Yeah, let's do it.
So before we dive into our favorite meals that we've had during quarantine, and we should say this is mid to late February of 2021. So we've been in this for almost exactly a year.
Yep, we're 11 months in.
Right, and so for here in the States, we really sort of locked down mid March rather. And what I should add though is, you've listened to any of our more recent episodes. You listened to our 3 states in 3 hours. We decided to get out of town again, right? We live in Atlanta. We are up in the North Georgia mountains. We are just outside of Clayton, Georgia this time at an inn that's become a bit of a tradition for Rachel's birthday. We delayed it a little bit for various reasons, but it's a good opportunity to get back up here and keep 3 years going.
Talk about this place before. I think our first North Georgia trip with the podcast was,
which might have been season 1, episode 3 or 4, and then it was probably, honestly, because it was January last year, it was probably season 2, episode 1 might have been.
Yeah, so it's a tradition now to start the season.
Right. So
anyway,
that's the real reason we're delayed.
Right,
but we just had a real nice meal tonight that we made here in the cabin that we have. We made a shepherd's pie with some lamb. One of the things that we've done is kind of really branch out and eat more meat than we've been doing.
More meat for sure, and eat more meat just in general. Well, obviously they go hand in hand.
Right. We just cook it and feed it to the pigs. We don't have pigs.
No, and we don't feed our cat human food.
But we're going to break this up into 2 parts. We're going to start out with talking about some of our favorite meals that we've had, or experiences, maybe food experiences we've had from takeout or pickup. We haven't eaten in any restaurants. We've been, reasonably strict about what we're interacting with people. And then the second half, we'll get to home cooking.
Right.
But for takeouts, do you want to start us with your list?
Sure. So when I was putting together my list, I was sort of trying to think about, obviously not all of our listeners live in Atlanta.
Right.
So I was sort of trying to think about things that I realized in having takeout from different places. So the first one is, I'm going to start with my birthday meal from this year, which was at a restaurant called Lila in Atlanta, which is right around the corner from us. It's new. We'd only eaten there once pre-quarantine, right? I mean, new-ish, right? But...
yeah, they probably opened about a year ago. I think we ate there January, February last year.
Yeah, and then quarantine happened. It's probably like many cities, Atlanta has a few restaurant groups that own sets of different restaurants around town. So this one's owned by a couple of people who own other restaurants.
What else do they own?
One of them, I think, is Cypress.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
One of the owners is Cypress, and I don't know who the other one is. Anyway.
Right. So if you're in Atlanta... Well, we say Cypress Street, Pint and Plate, which is one of our favorite not fancy places to eat.
Right.
It's also about 5 blocks from our house, and they've got a nice patio in the summertime.
Really good beer selection.
They got a great beer selection, rotates.
Weekly.
But we haven't eaten there. We've gotten takeout there a couple times.
Right.
But
it didn't make the list.
no, because it was fine. Yeah.
But so Lila, which is where we had our fancy birthday dinner for my birthday this year, what I realized about it and what I really liked about it is that, like, I sent Matt out to get the food, but we didn't order salads, we didn't order wine, and we didn't order cocktails. And so I made all of those things at home because we had stuff to make a nice salad. We have enough boozes to make an interesting cocktail. It's never going to be as fancy as you get in a fancy restaurant, right? Like, I'm not smoking anything. I'm never going to wash anything in duck fat ever.
Yeah.
But
maybe your home cocktail game is better than ours. I feel like ours is moderately high.
Yeah.
But we're not experts, and we don't plan to be.
If you wash your own cognac in duck fat as a home,
please let us know.
Please let us know. But anyway, I mean, I realized that, like, with that, I was like, I'm okay doing dishes, and I just saved like $60.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm all right with takeout for fancy meals, right? All I need to do is, now admittedly, actually, I was going to say there's more waste, but I don't know how much waste there is that happens in a restaurant kitchen. So I feel like my takeout containers are more waste.
Well, yeah, they're giving us to those in containers. They're generally like wax. They might be silicone, so we don't compost them.
Right.
But it's not terrible.
Right. So, my own really nice bottle of wine from South America, which would have been
a lot more expensive
in the U.S. It just happened that we had one left over from South America several years ago, and a cocktail, a salad, and then really delightful like meal and dessert that we got from them.
Right. Because actually I put Lila on mine too, because I got an oxtail dish there that I always love oxtail. If anybody follows the Worth It, BuzzFeed Worth It folks, Andrew, who also has his own show that's called Something Now, he did a 96-hour oxtail dish that he had in Japan. Like, oh, I'm so tempted, but it just seems like so much work. Yeah. I really like oxtail. It's good stuff.
We got time.
Yeah.
We get COVID time.
What did you even have from your birthday meal?
I had pasta. I had like smoked ravioli and like a dandelion pasta and pork ragu. It was really good.
Yeah, that was pretty killer.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really nice birthday meal. Which, I mean, obviously when you're used to being able to go out for those kind of more special occasions, I think it's been a process of trying to dial in like places that we want to make feel like really special for takeout.
So I'd say that to stick with that vein, one of the ones from my list was A Mano. Again, for those that aren't in Atlanta, it's sort of I'd say it's a modern Italian sort of thing. It's a little bit, I wouldn't quite call it farm to table, but it's got a seasonal menu. It's generally a pretty consistent menu, but we've gotten from there a couple times, and I think they're also not terribly far from our house, which is good. They have a really good, and I would say what I look for in a fancier restaurant for takeout during COVID times is a place that seems very respectful of varying degrees of nervousness about contagion. So I would say A Mano is quite good. You can do a curbside pickup where you call them, they'll bring it to your car and just like stick it in your window or in your trunk and you're good. But they also have a register that's set up outside under sort of a tent. And so I generally just pull up. There's usually a couple parking spots available and just let them know I'm there, right? So I feel comfortable enough standing outside, but I don't have to go inside too, which is what I like. And we've gotten from them maybe 3 times or something during COVID.
At least, yeah.
And they're always really consistent, which is what I like about them.
And that's true when you're eating there in person as well.
Right. And this goes to your point, too, about the saving money on wine and all that stuff. One of the things we really like about A Mano, if you're in Atlanta and you haven't eaten at A Mano, especially post-COVID times, check them out. They have a really fun Amaro menu. And you can get a flight of Amaros. And when we've eaten it there in person in the past, we'd always do this. We'd get a dessert. We'd share an Amaro flight with 3 of them.
And I think it's like $10. I mean,
yeah,
it's
really
reasonable. Affordable, and it's enough for 2 people to share.
Right. Which is actually probably why, actually not probably, it is entirely the reason why we generally have at least 3 Amaros in the house at all time.
We do.
And so we had our own little Amaro tasting after we did at least one of those, and that was fun too.
Yeah, it was. Recreating the Amaro tastings.
Yeah, and so I think that's one of the things that I like that we've done with this, right? You mentioned this on Facebook to your friends, to some friends today, that we've both, during COVID times, we didn't really talk about it, but it just sort of, we got into it. When we work, we both take showers in the morning, we get dressed. I still wear like a button-down shirt, although I'm still sitting in front of I'm just sitting in front of a computer. I might be wearing shorts or jeans where I might wear nicer pants, but like we still try to go through the motions to like keep ourselves mentally fit, I think. And I think one of the things about the fancy meals is when we do it, we might still eat it in front of the TV, but we still make an experience of it. We put it on the nicer plates and we kind of like sit down and make it a little more fun. We make it an evening. And I think...
try to have courses, and you can easily stick stuff in a 200-degree oven and let it stay warm for a little bit while you...
Yeah, and we decide what to order the same way based on that, right? So that we can kind of make it a little bit more of an experience. I find it fun. I like that we do that. So thank you. Yeah. So what do you have for next?
Oh, I have it on my iPad, which has since closed because it's not a piece of paper. Del Bar.
I had Del Bar too. Nice. Yeah, probably not surprising. We're going to have a lot of overlap here.
So Del Bar is a Middle Eastern place in Inman Park, and it is a place that we never ate at pre-COVID. So I don't have any experiences with them that are not takeout.
And I think it might fall in line with Persian more like as the subset of Mediterranean too, right? I thought that was a fun one because this could be anywhere too, right? Is there's certain like cuisines which maybe lend themselves better to a variety of foods, right? So we got a handful of things. We expected we were going to have leftovers, and as a result, we had a couple dips. We had some,
and they have a really great. And this is just something to look for in general. Like there are places that have taken on just like a 2 or 4 person like sort of takeout meal pack, right? And Del Bar has a really great deal for 2 people, which has appetizers, like 2 mains,
right? We did
like
do that.
Salads, right? Because you get a lot of like little plates as you expect with a Middle Eastern sort of like Persian leaning place.
It was fun. It was good. A little more casual too, but lots of fun, different things to try. This was the one we definitely ate in front of the TV, probably watching like British Bake Off or the Great Pottery Throwdown. But we just had a spread of all this stuff, and it was just
and
fun.
We've done that one twice. You have good leftovers, and that one is a great one that you can do vegetarian or not as well.
Yeah. Okay, so I had 4 written down on my takeout list, and we've already gone through 3 of them.
Okay, what's your last one?
Do you have another one that's in the nicer range?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, why don't you go with that one?
Okay, so this builds on Del Bar, which is a place called Aria in Atlanta. It is not Matt's favorite, but I've really liked it. I feel like it's a great deal because you get soup and salad and
it is absolutely a great deal.
Dessert and bread.
It's also a restaurant that if you look at Google reviews or Google like their space, they're like a $4 sign.
Yep, they're an expensive restaurant.
Right, but their takeout is, I would say, one of the more reasonable for a fancier restaurant. It was like
$52 for 2 people to have 2 salads, 2 soups, a bread service, 2 entrees, and
a
2
dessert.
desserts. Yeah. So, it's enough salad for 2. It's enough soup for 2, right? You don't get to choose. You can choose individual entrees, but it's great. The only problem with it, and this isn't really a problem, it's just they have a sort of rotating menu, so you got to look. They sell out
Early.
early, which is
Yeah.
not too surprising. And sometimes I'm like, I don't want that, right? Like I've been trying to
I
get takeout from
know.
there for a couple of weeks, and like it'll be something with mushrooms or crab cakes or just like things that I'm not super into. So,
Yeah. I'm looking to try it again.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's the longest drive of anywhere that we
Right.
get takeout from, which I mean it's like 5 miles. It's not insane.
Right.
But I mean, like I feel like if I went to Aria and got that many courses, I
Oh
don't
my
think
gosh.
we would get out of there for under $200, and I can like have
Yeah.
that takeout at home for
Right.
you know, once I leave tip, right? Still well under $100.
Yeah. I did enjoy it. I'm looking forward to us getting one that sounds pretty good. There was one the other day that I was like, I could go for that, but it was like a little mushroomy. So I can
Or
understand.
like,
thinking
yeah,
that.
I mean, I just sort of pay attention to all the things. It's like, okay, the salad is heavily mushroomy or creamy dressing or whatever. But, you know, they post their menu early, you order early. And it's actually interesting. I mean, they're doing in restaurant service too at this point, but the takeout ends at like 6:30. So you have to pick
Yeah.
it up pretty early. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, I sort of wonder with some of these places if they won't keep doing this, right? Because it's like, oh, this time in the restaurant where it's probably not normally very busy.
Right. Yeah.
Instead,
And they're always looking to turn.
you're making a lot of money
Yeah.
by
Yeah. It's got to be a
like-
whole nother like service
Service.
that's almost as big, if not bigger than the rest. I'm sure it's probably bigger than the restaurant. Well, who knows? Because they sell out so quick. So it's probably about, right? Like they know what they can do.
like a service in the restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I also, what I like about that one too is it is different every single
Yeah.
time, pretty much. Rather, every time we've looked, it's been different. So that's fun. Now, I will say there's been a couple restaurants that we've gone to that have been a little bit fancier. Echo is one.
Which
We
is
got-
usually one of my favorite places in town.
Yeah, and it was fine. It was good. I didn't feel shorted. I didn't feel dissatisfied, but it just didn't quite stand out enough. Maybe it was the one
Right.
time we did it.
I think, I mean, and I feel like, unlike Aria, right, where I never had an in-person experience, I've had so many good in-person experiences at Echo
Yeah.
that I was like, this doesn't live up because I'm eating the same food, but it's without the experience.
Yeah.
Whereas Aria, I have no
Yeah, thing to compare it to.
Comparative.
Yeah. So now to jump to the other side, we've done a couple places that are more, just standard fare, right? We mentioned Cypress Street, Pint and Plate. We've gotten like
Sandwiches,
Phillies or
yeah.
whatever from there a couple times, and always totally satisfying, right? No concerns. We've gotten pizza from a couple places. I will say, I think like good. What's the specific type of Italian? Basically the
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan. Is it Neapolitan?
I think so.
I thought Neapolitan was the thicker
Ice cream?
one.
No.
No, I know that. But anyways, the thin crust, super fast, like
Right.
stone oven, wood fired pizza. There's a couple great places in.
Sicilian is the thicker.
Oh,
one.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So there's a couple great places in Atlanta for that, and it's one that I think is better to eat as soon as it comes out.
Oh, yeah,
We've
for
gotten it. It's still good. It's just not as good. But the one that we've consistently that does translate pretty well is getting ramen.
Yeah,
And we've gone to Momonoki.
was the last one on mine too.
Yeah, a few times, and every time it's enjoyable. What I will say, I got into Skamen after we were
Skamen curious.
Skamen is like it's basically it's ramen adjacent. We had it when we were in Japan. You have cold noodles in a hot gravy sauce instead of a looser broth, and you dip your noodles into the hot
Right.
thing. That doesn't
Not for everyone.
translate as well
And it
because
doesn't,
the
yeah.
noodles kind of seize up a little bit. But when you get the ramen, you get Momonoki at least does a good job. You get your noodles in one dish, you get your broth in a second dish. You can reheat your broth a little bit if you need to. Pour it together, loosens everything up. It
good.
translates reasonably well.
Yeah, I mean, and we've done a lot of things at Momonoki, like, and it's interesting to see how people have decided to kind of expand their menus, right? Like, Momonoki also has a cafe, so we've gone there, we've walked there from our house, which is a
A bit of a walk.
medium walk from our house. So we've walked down there and gotten coffees, or we've walked down there and gotten a cocktail to go once. But since they do have this coffee shop, they also have a bakery, and so they sell their cookies frozen, which is great. So you can like kind of add on things that, again, places never would have had, I think, pre-COVID for takeout.
Right. Yeah. So that was my list. That was your list too?
It was.
Any place else you've been wanting to try that we haven't done yet?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I will say we did sushi once. We're looking forward to kind of doing it again, I think, once it gets warmer out. Sushi, again, is one that...
It's part of the experience.
That does involve the experience, yeah. I enjoyed it, though, when we had it at home, so I'm certainly looking forward to doing it again. Yeah.
I am looking forward to a Woody's Philly steak at one point, but
yeah,
that place is a little bit sketchy in the best of times, but
it'll be good once we do it. All right, so we're gonna break for a minute, and then we're gonna come back and talk about cooking during COVID.
Yeah. In the meantime, just a reminder, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, @ReinItIn_podcast on Instagram, I think. ReinItIn-podcast on Facebook, whatever. Look for Rein It In, Matt and Rachel. Let us know what you've been doing for your takeout and what's been fun. We're always looking for new ideas, too.
Definitely.
All right. Now for the jingle.
Second half of this podcast is going to be about meals that we've cooked at home during quarantine. And so I'm going to kick us off not with just an individual meal, but saying that I think over the course of the last year-ish, I started getting like spice packs in the mail. So I signed up for like a monthly, it's like a Spice of the Month club, essentially. So they send you a few different spice packets and recipes that you can make, and that's really kind of expanded out like the types of stuff that I make, right? There's been a bunch of things that I normally wouldn't make. Like this week I'm planning on making a bunch of Thai meatballs and then freezing them that I can cook later with whatever, pad Thai probably, but on the side, you don't put them on top, that would be weird, but
no, that's a good point, right? Because I don't think we're really meal kit kind of people. We are pretty good at cooking at home. We enjoy cooking. My therapist in the past has recommended, like, maybe, if you're stressed out about all the things going on, maybe you should just prepare all your meals on Sunday and then you'll have them for the week. And I was like, yeah, but like making dinner actually makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, my new role is a little bit different, but like the last few years, my job has been one where there's really no end in sight for the things that I'm doing. It's like there's no real resolution, and cooking was one of those things that gave me a compartmentalized task that I could finish.
You start with a pile of X and you end up with a dinner.
Right, yeah. And inevitably it takes you like 1/4 or less the amount of time to actually eat it than make it. Not always, but
of course, but that's okay.
So, but we like to cook. We cook quite a bit, but I do think meal kits could be a fun thing if you're not all that into cooking, maybe, right? Because we've had some friends who've done it and they've enjoyed it. I think these spice packets are pretty good. We've definitely tried some things we wouldn't have tried.
Yeah, for sure.
We haven't cooked everything that we get with it.
No, and like some of the things I'll modify, like I'll take out the meat from some things. I'll definitely cook some things with meat too, some of them I'm like, oh, this is a close enough spice to something else that I already cook. Usually it'll have a couple meals worth in it because I think most of them are portioned out for 4 and I'll half it, so I'll make 2. And if I don't love it the first time but I liked the spices, I'll just like sort of roll it into something else.
Right, yeah. But it's caused us to try some things. A couple of things have been, I wouldn't say duds, right? But for Christmas we did... Thanksgiving we did this, like, what was it? Turkmenistan pie. It was fun. It was cool to make it, but it wasn't amazing.
Right, yeah. I'm happy I did it. I would never make it again.
Right. But some of the things we've actually done again, or we've taken the inspiration from that to make it on our own.
Yeah, I've rebought a couple spice packets that I really liked, or like, yeah, I mean, one of the other things on my list, which builds into this, is like tostadas.
Tostadas. Is that your first thing on the list now that we're just rambling here?
Yeah. So, I use Piquant Post. That's the spice of the month club that I have. But one of the months it was like pulled chicken tostadas, and so that one I swapped out for jackfruit, which subs in perfectly well. And my CSA actually sells locally made tostadas, and just like tostadas are great. They're like great flat tacos.
I know. I remember having them with my mom, and when my mom was living in Mexico for a while, she always had them, and we would just sort of like, they were kind of you'd have it on a side. Instead of like a piece of bread, you'd have that. You'd rub a lime on it, maybe throw a little like buffalo picante sort of sauce on it, but now we're using them, I think, how people would normally use them, which is so silly to say, but just as like an open-faced taco.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
Like, you melt some cheese on there, and I actually love refried beans. And so some melted cheese, some refried beans, and then whatever else you want to put on there. Fried eggs, jackfruit in like, sort of a tomatoey, taco-y sauce.
Yeah, we've done mole ones.
Mole.
We put mole on top of it. We
Yeah.
just do, like an estimation of, and not an estimation. We do huevos rancheros with it. Throw some avocado, a splash of, or a dollop of Greek yogurt or sour cream. I'm hungry. We just ate a giant meal.
Oh, I'm not hungry at all. But I will say, like, one of the surprising discoveries has been how great tostadas are.
And then just actually yesterday, and we posted this on the Instagram. So our Instagram, since we're not traveling, has had a whole lot of food on it. So if you're into food, there's more food stuff on there. But I made some like good chilaquiles, I thought.
With tostadas?
With tostadas and a little, what's his name? Jamie Oliver inspired, like quick cabbage slaw. Just basically like shred some cabbage real fine and massage it with some lemon juice. Bam!
Lime.
Easy. Lime.
Yeah.
What did I say? Lemon? Lime.
It was, either one would work. Yeah. Yesterday was lime. Okay, so I had mine. I had my Piquant Post meals and my tostadas, which came from one of those recipes. What do you got?
Okay. I'll start with something that's more in the general realm of things, I suppose. Kind of like that is one of the things we've been doing a lot of during this that I always enjoy. And we actually started this at the end of last year. Well, the end of 2019, because I was doing this in the UK when I was there too, is just steamed then broiled sweet potatoes with something else on it. So basically taking you get a fair sized sweet potato, slice it in half, steam it a little bit to get it softer, and then scrape open the top, put on seasonings of your choice. So we've done it with sort of Indian, we've done it with Mexican, we've done it, those might be the two main ones, just with cheese, salt and pepper. And then generally we melt some cheese on it, but we've also put mole on top, like with some like corn and some other vegetables, peppers and stuff. Put that on top of it and then cover that in cheese and melt it. So I would say one of the things that I've been enjoying, and this is like a pretty low effort.
Definitely. They're really easy.
But low effort, high reward, I think. Always enjoy whenever we make just like roasted sweet potatoes broiled with melted cheese on them.
Yeah. Agreed. Those are good. So as a follow-up for like easy things, and easy things that Matt makes, this is extra easy for me because I don't cook it, is like your Korean tofu.
Yeah. I didn't put that on
soup.
there. Yeah, we've been doing sort of sundubu and kimchi stew, sort of jjigae, I think. I forget how to say it. I really need to get better about learning the proper words. I'm trying to be more aware of the colonialization of food. So
Well,
There's
I don't know
importance in a
any of
name.
the I don't know any of the proper words, so I'm sorry. I could probably be better about that, but I hadn't even considered it. So,
But these are, yeah. Well, tell me what you think about it, and then I'll.
well, I
add.
mean, well, you make it in. We just happen to have stone bowls like you get bibimbap in at restaurants because we inherited them from Matt's mom.
My mom's still alive.
Not
she,
dead.
She
She
gave us one she had.
just passed them along to
Yeah.
us because she wasn't using them, although she lived in Korea, which is where she bought them. So Matt's been using them to cook these, like, so Matt makes kimchi, and we put that in there along with some red pepper paste, or just red pepper. Do you use the flakes or do you use the paste?
Both.
And
A little bit of fish sauce.
fish sauce. I like it when there's ground pork in there.
Yeah, I've done like a little bit of bacon sometimes, but sometimes we do it. It's never vegetarian because there's usually like some fish sauce.
Yeah.
But usually like some scallions in oil, get that going, and then we always throw in like some vegetable. So it might be some cabbage or some bok choy or eggplant.
Green beans we've done.
Yeah.
Like it takes to basically any kind of random vegetable you have, which is why it's nice.
Yeah. And then
and then you put an egg in it and cook the egg.
yeah, I
And
mean,
you
so
serve it
there's
with
some
a bowl of
water,
rice.
and then all the basically the I'm drawing a blank. What's the red sauce?
Gochujang.
Gochujang, and then goju charu, something like that. But is it just the flakes,
Oh, right.
So a little bit of those, a little bit of soy sauce, maybe some fish sauce, yeah, and then some water. And actually, what I do too, because we always have it, we have the bowl of the, and then almost always put a little bit of kimchi in it, just kind of dice it up small, and I fry that up with the onions first, but have steamed rice on the side. But one of the things I came across in one of the recipes is taking the first rinse of the rice water, so rinsing your rice before steaming it, and using the first rinse of water, which is real foggy and starchy, and using that as the sort of like broth, broth as the water. You put a little bit of broth in, get it up to a good boil, crack an egg in, and it's good. It's spicy and fun.
It is.
Gets the endorphins going.
I like it, and I lay on the couch while you cook it, which is great.
Yeah, and then I usually clean up too because the bowls are heavy and a pain. So no wonder you like that meal. The I'll piggyback on that one a little bit. So I've been making kimchi for a couple of years now. Every so often, just kind of keep a couple jars, work our way through it. We don't go through it real fast. But the other thing, and this is not something Rachel eats, but something I make and eat, is I started making natto.
Yeah, I don't eat.
And so if you don't know what natto is, it's this fermented soybeans, Japanese, and generally I'm sure there's other variants of it in other Asian cultures. But I'm too lazy to make rice in the morning, so I pretty much always just I take a piece of toast, I put a smear, real thin smear of miso paste on it, put a scoop of stringy, stinky beans on it, and a slice of cheese over it, and melt that in the toaster oven. And that's my breakfast, like 4 days a week, probably. Sometimes I'll make it an omelet. What was that?
I eat yogurt.
Yeah. So I think it's like, it for whatever reason, there's something about it I like. What I do like about it, I'll say, this is sort of like my COVID habits or pattern, is I don't have to think about what I want for breakfast. I just do it. And it's something a little bit more interesting than cereal.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally fair.
But I need to make another batch already. I just made it like 2 weeks ago, and I'm already pretty much out. So I'd say natto is something I've had fun doing, because it's also fun. There's all sorts of videos on the internet for making natto in an Instant Pot, and I've kind of modified the recipe slightly, but it's pretty good.
I will say, like, if we do a podcast about quarantine activities, I mean, I know we did one on games and stuff earlier on, but you'll have to talk about your YouTube habits.
Oh, my YouTube habits started well before
That's true.
quarantine. I watch much more YouTube than I watch television.
Yeah. I read way more romance novels than I do television.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that you? Was natto on yours?
Natto is mine.
Okay.
It wasn't yours.
No, it definitely wasn't mine. I'll say, I mean, I have a couple that like sort of fit together in this. In that, I mean, like we said, we've been cooking more meat than we normally do. And usually my favorite sort of meat is lamb. And so
I think it's a real meat. It's not a sort of meat. I'm joking.
Yeah. Recently, when editing a paper that I wrote, I went through and pulled out all of the instances of sort of, because I not only say that, I also type it. But then I can go back and fix that before anyone reads it. Unlike this, which no one is going to edit out my sort ofs.
No.
Anyway, so lamb. Couple of recipes that have been very strong. We made some lamb meatballs with raisin pesto.
Oh, geez, I forgot about those. That was really good.
It was like yogurt and lamb and like this. It was the pesto wasn't basil. It was parsley and olive oil and raisins, and it was really delicious.
Oh, I want to eat those again.
Yeah. Soon. I've also been making like lamb stew that you put over egg noodles, so it's got really small potatoes.
Yeah.
Like
that thing's killer.
Not even like fingerling, but like little baby potatoes and carrots and sort of chunks of lamb, a bunch of bacon. It's so fatty, and then you cook it in the oven for 3 hours. I mean, it's a significant easy, but you have to be home, which is fine during COVID. But like 3 hour, like sort of low oven cook.
High time, low effort.
And then you put it on top of egg noodles and it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That is good. Now, like nobody really cares about this, but it's worth pointing out, like pre-COVID, we would cook fish at home once every couple weeks, and we would occasionally have bacon or sausage that would cook on the grill, the sausage on the grill, or just the bacon in whatever, the oven or frying pan. But that was pretty rare. And now, and I used to say we had a vegetarian sympathetic diet because if we ate out, we would generally potentially eat meat. So we aren't vegetarian. But most of the meals we make most of them are still vegetarian. However, we probably have meat or fish 1 to 2 times a week now, which is much higher.
Sure. I mean, it's much higher than it used to be. I just needed something different, like something different to cook.
Right. But I mean, but previous to COVID, it was pretty rare that we would cook meat in the house.
Oh, for sure.
Now, like, I think we have frozen sausage and frozen lamb.
And frozen pork.
And frozen pork in the freezer right now.
And fish.
So and fish, yeah. But it's been fun. There's been some just amazing stuff. And I think some of it was, a year and a half ago, right before all this stuff started, when we were in the UK, we bought lamb for our Thanksgiving dinner in Wales, because we were like, shit, we're in Wales, we gotta eat some lamb. And then suddenly we were like, I think maybe we could do this. I would still maybe like to work towards reducing that a little bit at some point, but it's been fun. It's been
good. I mean, it's just, I needed something to kind of experiment around with and do something different. And different was cooking meat, because I haven't ever really done it.
Yeah.
I mean, I really cooked my first chicken, like, ever during COVID.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see. So you had lamb as the general thing.
Yeah.
I have, this is just sort of a... I'll leave. I've got 2 honorable mentions at this point, I think, which are in the natto theme. But I think one of the other things we made that stood out as we ate it, and I was just it was transcendent. It was so good, and I want to do it again because I think we've done it twice now. Is that Thai salmon with the tomatoes? That's another one that's pretty easy. You just basically get a bunch of cherry tomatoes. Easy. You make a coconut
it's
curry
cherry
sauce.
Tomatoes, Thai curry paste. We use Chu Chi curry paste because we can get that, which Chu Chi traditionally goes with fish. But you could use red. I don't think I would.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use yellow. You could probably do it with green, but I definitely wouldn't use yellow. But it's like,
oh, really? Okay.
Curry paste. Yep. Curry paste, coconut cream, like a bunch of cherry tomatoes, fried shallots.
Oh yeah, you kind of crisp up the shallots in oil first. and they become a topping.
And
which is funny too, because Rachel doesn't love onions, but this works.
But they work really well. And fish. I mean, it's supposed to be with whitefish, but we've also done it with salmon, and it is delicious.
Yeah, you basically poach the salmon kind of in the curry and tomato, and then we've had just like a veg on the side or something. Oh, it's so rich and so good.
It is, and it's so easy.
Yeah. I want to do that again soon.
Yeah. There's a lot of meals actually that we've done that are really tasty, that are super low effort.
And was that one from Epicurious, or was that from...
It is from Epicurious.
Okay.
So if you can just Google like cherry tomato fish curry, and if something comes up on Epicurious, that'll be it.
Yeah.
And it is delicious.
I like... Rachel is a recipe follower. I'm a glance at a recipe and kind of be inspired by and do something. The benefits and drawbacks each have its own side, but I tend to make things that are more similar to each other. Like I do theme and variation, and Rachel does more interesting, different things.
Yeah.
But I would say one of the other ones that I'm going to hijack 2 in a row because it's related to Epicurious too, is that miso cacio e pepe or whatever.
God, that's so good.
It's like so easy and so good.
And it's so easy. Yeah. So cacio e pepe is actually one of my favorite things. But the problem with it is that the sauce can really easily break. But I think adding miso to it really makes the emulsion much less problematic.
Yeah, and it ends up being less cheese and less...
Right.
All the other things that are rich. I think it's actually moderately healthier.
Yeah. But it's, butter and pepper that you cook together and fresh pasta, and then, cheese, either pecorino or... We've done
Parmesan too.
Parm. We've only done Parm, I think, because we don't usually have pecorino in the house, but... and fresh pasta, and that is a 10-minute meal that's great.
Oh, yeah. So good.
And I mean, I really think with the miso, it makes it kind of foolproof.
Right. And it feels... Sorry, we were listening to this other podcast called Bad Books for Bad People, and they kept saying the word decadent over and over. And I was like, how many times, you're stuck on this word? But I feel like it's a little bit decadent, even though it's, so easy.
Oh, yeah. And we just do some, simple roasted vegetables with it.
Yeah.
And it's great. And maybe we're going to do that this week with some of that asparagus we have coming.
That sounds killer to me.
Yeah. Okay, so we need to wrap this up. We've been
talking you got a couple.
So
oh, yeah, we have.
And my last one has just been I rejoined a CSA, which has led me to a lot of kind of different ingredients that I don't normally have. So CSA's community supported agriculture come in a variety of things. I've belonged to one that was just one farm share that you bought into, and so whatever they had is what you got. This one that I belong to now in Atlanta is you have a basket, you can modify it. They have a few different specific basket types too. You can get a Georgia only basket where everything comes from only Georgia. Gosh, that's self-explanatory. But I sort of feel like if there's something that's from Alabama or North Carolina, those are actually closer to me than some places in Georgia. So I'm if it's solely Georgia, that doesn't necessarily mean it's the closest to me. So anyway,
right.
But you can modify it, but it does tend to be more seasonal, and it also gives me things that I wouldn't normally get. So I've cooked a lot of turnips because they have turnips that I often am oh, cool. I got a rutabaga this week, which I've never cooked before.
I've discovered I really like kumquats.
Red cabbage we have right now this week. So that's nice too. I mean, if you like cooking and you're sort of just sure, give me some things and I'll make up whatever. And the other thing that's nice about it is a lot of the meat that we've been talking about, I get that through the CSA. So I know that that it's local, right? It's coming from
smaller producers
Yep, it's coming from farm X or Y or Z, and I could feasibly go there and be
yeah. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's maybe better. Makes us feel better.
I mean, it seems better than mass sort of feedlot factory farming where I'm oh, okay, like, this is a few miles away. I know that they have a smaller amount of animals. I know that they're doing these things in this way, right? So it's still not as humane as never eating meat, but it's also, you know, a balance where I'm finding meat that I feel like is
I feel like the CSA
good.
has been a great thing. We got lucky. You signed up for it like right when things were hitting, and then right after that they cut off new members. I think they might be taking new members again.
Yeah, because they just got a flood of people. I mean, because early COVID times, I was like, when we still weren't sure like how it was transmitted, I was like, okay, I want groceries that are delivered to me but have had the fewest hands possible. And it was like anything that's even coming to me from Whole Foods or whatever, like everyone's in there handling things and breathing on the things and so on. I'm less worried about that now, but I'm obviously going to stick with the CSA because I am really enjoying it. Yeah,
and kind of along those lines. I mean, we mentioned earlier, we've been pretty cautious about our exposure to things, and like, I think over the last year, we've been to a grocery store probably like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, not very many, which is, I mean, I really like grocery shopping. So
yeah,
for some people, this is probably a joy, but for me, I'm like,
yeah, we do online ordering and delivery or pickup, and so and actually all delivery in the CSA.
Yeah, I lean pretty heavily on the CSA because they have a lot of add-ons, like tostadas. And this week I'm getting local rice noodles. I'm excited about that. Oh, yeah, right. And there's local tofu. I mean, there's all kinds of things, you know, that it's great that I do get to support more local producers.
Right. Yeah. So lots of food. Hopefully people are having a good time. I mean, I know we were just talking to some friends during the break that, you know, they feel like they're falling into a bit of a rut, but hopefully some ideas, right? If you're listening still and want to share your ideas, check us out on Instagram or Facebook, or just reach out to us if you know us. Let us know what you're doing. Let us know your favorite meals. I think it'd be fun.
Ask us for recipes. We'll share them.
Yeah, we'll share recipes. Follow our Instagram at @rainedin_podcast, I'm pretty sure. Lots of pictures on there.
On the outro, it'll tell you the actual Instagram, even if we don't have it right now. So
if you want to see pictures of natto, there's plenty of pictures of natto on there. Yep. The 2 honorable mentions I was going to add were the 2 times I made bagels.
Oh, yeah. Bagels are amazing.
Really
homemade.
Fun. I need to make those again.
So fucking good.
And we're getting close to a year of making homebrew kombucha.
Yep.
And it is feeling a little bit like a chore, but it's pretty nice to be able to get like a gallon and a half of, maybe it's a gallon of kombucha every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, it probably cost us
no cost,
like, you know, $3 or $4 to make each of those batches instead of $3 or $4 a bottle.
Yep.
And it gives us something nice to, when we're in between drinking, gives us something that's, I mean, I know there's a bit of alcohol, but we're not, but yeah, it gives us something a little more interesting to drink. So, hope people are having a okay time. Hope you're staying safe, and good luck with those vaccines and keeping doing fun stuff, hopefully.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No, I'm
just
good.
Yet. Okay. You can check us out at anchor.fm/rainedin. That's spelled REINITIN, all one word, no spaces, and you can leave us a message there. You can also follow us at Instagram at rainedin_podcast, or email us at rainedin@ssdpress.org, also spelled REINITIN at ssdpress.org. Thanks again to all of our friends and family for all the support and for putting up with us. Have a great day.